Ready to take a trip to the world? You found the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. This is where your memories come front and center on our podcast stage.
Welcome to episode 2634 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday to you. We've made it to the weekend, and it's a good one, and we are glad that you're here. And we're going to have a fun Disney conversation here with the ladies, and it's not going to go the way you think. We're going to be getting you ready to take some awesome images on your next Disney vacation, whether it's at Walt Disney World, Disney Cruise Line, maybe even Disneyland. We'll try maybe flip some stuff in there. We'll go to the three major destinations, but today we're having a good time. So joining me from a DisneyWorldAfterAll.com and the Mouse for Less, we have Ricky. Ricky, happy Friday. What's up?
Happy Friday. Yeah. I would like to say that I know we complain about the weather, and I am just happy that I am finally getting warm. It's in Atlanta here. It's been, in the teens in the evening, which I know doesn't sound awful to those of you up north, but for us, that's like terrible. Like that. I mean, I legit went 3 days where I wasn't warm. Like I just lived in a state of cold, had blankets wrapped around me. The heat was on to like 77 in the house, which I know is ridiculous for a lot of people, but I was freezing. So like, I was like, I just can't get warm. So yeah, I'm happy that by the end of this week or today, it's supposed to be in the 60s. Hallelujah. Oh, I could finally step outside and not go, I am so cold. Oh no, stop.
I mean, spring training starts in a couple of weeks. It's we've made it. We're gonna make it.
Yes, I mean we're getting there, and hallelujah.
All right.
The spring is Garden Rocks concert series was announced this week, so spring is coming when that happens. The dining packages are available. It's coming. I'm so happy.
That's right. All right. Also joining us, we have Pam Forrester-Koner, the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday, Pam. What's up?
Happy Friday. Yeah. I don't know. Ricky was complaining about her weather, but I think ours was a little
Yeah,
worse.
you guys win. I know. I get it.
You just sent a picture of your snowfall.
Yes, I had a snow day last week, and
You got sent home from work early.
I did get sent home from work early that day, and the next day I got to work from home because of the snow. I looked out my window and I was like, there's nothing. But then in typical Atlanta fashion, just to prove to you guys that we just are terrible at this. So there was a little bit of ice, and driving in ice is certainly not easy. I will admit, as a former St. Louisan, I've had to drive on my share of ice. It's not great, but you kind of have like ideas of like what to do, what not to do, right? Well, Brian on his way, he sent one of his coworkers home, early. He's like, look, it's icy out. You might want to go home. We had to literally talk to her on the phone and coax her through how to drive on the ice. We're like, okay, if your car starts skidding, don't push on the brakes. Like, you just want to make sure you stop, take your foot off the gas. Like, yeah. So Atlanta we really have no idea. But yeah, they literally had I had a work from home day the next day, and I looked out my window and the road was fine at my house. I'm like, okay, well, that's fine.
You made it. That's the important thing.
So Pam, so Pam, I know
It's not. Meanwhile, at my house, Steve laughs at me because when I leave, my goal is to drive somewhat onto the mountain of snow that's on either side of the driveway to slowly start wearing it down a little bit. And
that's good.
Like, why do you hit that every time? I'm like, I'm trying to pack it down a little bit.
Trying to get to go.
Yep, I'm looking out the window right now. My backyard is still white.
No.
Exactly.
Yes.
I
Still,
know.
since
Mine is
before
not.
Marathon weekend. Yes. It's crazy.
Yuck.
Anyway, today we are going to have fun with photography because that's the best way to bring home memories. It's to take those pictures, and especially, I think it's even more important nowadays because so many things are changing. Grand Avenue is going away. We got Rivers of America going away, the Liberty Bell going away. So changes in the park really give you an opportunity to document. Go over to Tom Sawyer Island. I did that over Marathon Weekend. It took so many pictures because I'm going to want those here in 10 years, to say I went to Fort Langhorne and got some more pictures of, the little escape hatch and stuff like that, because it'll be something you can't do anymore. So I thought today we talk about getting high at Walt Disney World. Now, that's me. I got to have some kind of, clickbait
There's
title.
a stick.
There it is.
Yeah,
there
exactly.
No, but we're going to talk about getting elevation, because with your photography, I think a lot of times it's super interesting when you can get find a spot where you can actually climb up high and shoot down on people. And the way I got this, I had two ideas right off the bat. Was in the Magic Kingdom, I like to climb up the Swiss Family Treehouse and get some amazing pictures up there, whether it's of Adventureland, maybe out toward the castle, and also on the train station. It's simple things, but when you get some elevation, it gives you some interesting shots. But there's all kinds of places over property, even on Cruise Line and Disneyland, where if you get some elevation, it makes your photography way, way more interesting. So I thought maybe if we shared a few, our listeners, when they go on their trips here in the future, they might be able to climb up there and get some interesting shots themselves to bring home as little free souvenirs. I like free souvenirs. So I don't know. So I'm going to let the ladies take over again like you did on Wednesday. It was a beautiful show. It was wonderful. So Pam, take it away. Go ahead.
We'll take it. Yeah. I have so many places I like to go, and to no surprise, so many of them are lounges.
Yes, of course.
What? Right?
No.
So I'm combining 2 or 3 really cool things all in one thing, right? We get to go there. First of all, I don't have to make a reservation or plan in advance, which I always like that. So that's a plus. Secondly, you can get a drink or an appetizer or something like that. Another plus. And third, then you can take some really cool pictures. And I think one of the better places that we've had lately is at the tower over at the Coronado, right? And you get to go up to Dahlia. And for those who don't know, Dahlia actually has a really great view of Hollywood Studios, because even though people think that Coronado's way far away and far away from everything, it's actually right across the street from Disney's Hollywood Studios, right across the street. And it's such a great location to really look at that, especially at night. Remember when Hollywood Studios was having the fireworks all the time? You could catch those there. But even because Hollywood Studios is such a sort of light, a really cool look at night, with all of the lights on and whatnot, that looking from there really, I think, gives you sort of a different vista of that park, and really kind of lets you see where things are laid out in a way that I think the first time I look at it each trip, I'm like, wait, that's where Galaxy's Edge is? And in relation to this, every time, and I've probably done it now 50 times, but I look at it different every time that I see it. It just is really a really cool view. And for, those of you who don't know, also, there are so many different vistas from the tower at Coronado Grandestino. We had a suite once that I could see from the Magic Kingdom all the way over to Animal Kingdom. I could see that whole location. There just are some really great views from there. When you're staying at the tower, you may have a view that looks out the front, which would be towards Hollywood Studios, or the back, which would be of the big lake, and also of the pyramid and things like that. So there's just a lot of great locations there at Coronado Springs, of which you can get, sort of a view, a great picture, great views, things like that. So anyways, Ricky, give us another one.
All right. I mean, I think my first one has to be this. It's such an easy gimme, but it's seriously it has to be this one, and it has to be the Tomorrowland Transit Authority People Mover. I mean, come on, this attraction has so many fantastic views that are so different than anything that you get anywhere else. It was surprise, it was a great place to watch where they were building Tron, because you could see the construction, so it was a fantastic place for that. But you do get so many different locations that you get to see along the track there, so many different views of different areas of Tomorrowland, but then you also get different views of the castle. And if you can catch it when the fireworks are happening, and it's not the greatest, you definitely don't want to do it on your first time, but time and time again, I've been there, catching the fireworks from the TTA is a lot of fun. you get to see them in a totally different perspective, and it's really just so cool. So and riding it at night is completely different than riding it in day. You get different views of Tomorrowland both ways. So I feel like the TTA just it's the best ride, and it's probably partially the best ride because the views are so fantastic. And you're gonna get so many different things that you can see, and people watching is top notch on the TTA for sure. So yeah, you're going fast, but it's top notch for sure. So
I know there's a video I take, I think, every time I ride the People Mover, and this is you sort of round the bend.
Yes.
And the
castle comes into view.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I gotta get ready and get this because I don't have it 35 other times on my phone.
Exactly.
Right?
It's not there a million other times.
Right. I know. Don't you wonder what your digital footprint is going to look like after you're gone? Like, if you know how your family, like they say, you know, do you want your family to have to throw this away after you pass away, right? And I'm like, do I want my family sifting through all my photos, you know, after I pass away? Are they going to be like, did mom have 300 videos of this exact same spot in the People Mover?
Yes, she did. Yeah, I know. It's the same thing for me. My phone is full right now, and I've got to go through and start, you know, kind of deleting things because, and I'm just like, I don't know what to delete because I don't, you know, I've got it all backed up on Google, but I still don't know what to delete because I may need that 35th video that I have.
Exactly. This may be the one that's the masterpiece.
Exactly. Even though it's the exact same as the other ones. Yeah.
Exactly. All right. So for my next location, I'm going to the Contemporary. And there's a few different locations here. First of all, of course, there's California Grill, which
100%.
If you haven't been, you have a really great view of the Magic Kingdom. It's actually going to be a view that is showing you sort of Space Mountain there in the foreground and the rest of the Magic Kingdom behind it. And you can see that just from the regular restaurant. But in addition, California Grill has actually 2 catwalks that they will let you out on. One of them is actually closer to the Magic Kingdom and again gives you a great view of the fireworks, although they're not going to be centered over Cinderella's castle because that is actually set up for those. If you're standing in front of Cinderella's castle, the fireworks are right behind it. Mm-hmm. But if you're actually over at the Contemporary, the fireworks aren't going to be right behind it.
And they're off to the side.
Yeah. Right.
And
but there's still a great view.
It's kind of in between Space Mountain and Cinderella Castle. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So that. But there is another catwalk at California Grill that is actually, you get a good view of Epcot. It's on the other side there. So you can see, I know, right? You can see the Epcot fireworks from there. And for those of you who don't know, if you have dinner at the California Grill, and even if it's not at fireworks time, you can come back later on and they will let you go back up and watch the fireworks, the Magic Kingdom fireworks from there. Just to let them know that you had dinner there earlier. And sometimes they'll ask to see your receipt so that you can get up there.
Gotta have proof.
Yes. But there are also a couple other great locations at the Contemporary that I think are worth mentioning. On the 4th floor is actually a viewing area where you can see the fireworks at the Contemporary. The 4th floor concourse right there is the spot where Chef Mickey's is and that lounge there. Yeah, and whatnot. So you can go out on that sort of patio area and it gives you another view of the fireworks.
Is that around by the bat where they usually have the gingerbread house?
Yep, that's exactly where it is.
Okay, so you're gonna go past the BVG shop,
all the shopping,
and keep going to the end of the
like you're going over to Bay Lake.
Correct. Yes. Okay. I just wanted to give people an idea of where it was because if you just say it's on the 4th floor, then and it is really hidden. So you wouldn't really know that it existed, even though we're talking about it. So
exactly, that's exactly where it is. So you can go there, and you can go there during the day or go there in the evening. Sometimes there is a little crowd before fireworks start, so just keep that in mind. But the other thing is, on the 2nd floor, there are actually a set of steps that go down to the pools near the Contemporary there, and I always sort of like that view because it sort of gives you a view of Bay Lake. and it's
Yeah.
not something that you always see. So I think that's worth
That's
checking
true.
out there. So
That's a
lots
good
of good
point.
places at the Contemporary.
Yeah, that is good. I like
Okay.
that. That's good. Okay, so for my next one, I am gonna go to Disney Springs, and I'm actually gonna go to that giant balloon. Aerophile is, it used to be called Characters in Flight. It's Aerophile now, and seriously, the views from this balloon are incredible. Yes, it is a little scary if you're afraid of heights. I'm afraid of heights, but enough, like, since we're enclosed inside the it's not a cage, but like you're enclosed inside the
Yes.
circular area. So like I feel at least protected. And I know that it's not gonna fly away, so like I know we're good. But honestly, you get some of the most amazing views of Disney Springs, and of all of Disney World, to be perfectly honest, because you are up so high. That it's a can't miss, especially if you are maybe a photographer and you're looking for those unique different views of Walt Disney World. This is definitely one that you need to put on your bucket list. But you see so many different things that you didn't know, kind of how things are situated, and the view, like I said, the views of Disney Springs are phenomenal from there. Because they get you up there. Now, the one problem is, of course, because it's a tethered balloon, it doesn't go up all the time. So it is based on the wind, and it's not the wind. You may be on ground level and like there is no wind whatsoever. So you may see, Characters in Flight is closed currently due to wind, and you're like, wait, there's no wind. But up high and the atmosphere, there's wind that you're not aware of, and so that can cause the balloon to not fly. Because obviously, of course, you don't want to be whipping around in the air. That would not be good. So that's something to keep in mind. But the balloon is seriously, it's such a cool experience at Walt Disney World that if you haven't done it and you're not like super afraid of heights, I would absolutely suggest doing it. And it's not like ridiculously expensive either. It's kind of somewhat reasonable, I feel like. So I'm gonna suggest that as an option. So.
Yeah, I think it's a good suggestion, and I've heard from people who have timed it around fireworks that you
I'm
also
sure.
can see, yes, right, good views of the fireworks. So
yeah, I'm sure it's ridiculously amazing. Yeah,
I
because
know.
you've got, and it depends on what time, because you could have multiple fireworks shows going on all around you too. So that's even cooler.
Yeah,
That's
it is.
cool. That's cool.
It is for sure.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to another resort location, and this is over at the Wilderness Lodge. And I have a few suggestions here from good locations to get sort of this vantage point. First of all, the Wilderness Lodge is one of the resorts that actually has rooms that have a fireworks view. And these are only a few. If you want them, you have to book it. You cannot just request it. But because of where the Wilderness Lodge is located, and because they've done some tree trimming in the past few years, you actually can have a view of the Magic Kingdom fireworks from certain rooms. So keep that in mind when you're booking, right? I know. And they really are one of my favorite views, I think, of the fireworks, just because the Wilderness Lodge, you feel sort of removed from like the chaos that can be that, and it just sort of gives a nice perspective. You're not up as close as you are at the Contemporary or at the Polynesian or even the Grand Floridian, but it still offers a really nice view. There are also some outdoor balcony areas, covered spots at the Wilderness Lodge. And these look out over, there are two of them. These look out over the courtyard area that give you a view of that really cool pool at the Wilderness Lodge is sort of built into the rocks and whatnot. And then the pine trees and the geyser and then the lake behind it. So lots of good things to see from there. And I think it offers some really great photos too, especially if you can time it, right? So you get the geyser going off and other stuff happening in the background. So look for those sort of areas at the Wilderness Lodge. And I think those are both worth checking out. That's good. I know. That's good. There are also like some sitting areas that are up there too, but don't have a great view of anything. But There's also a sort of balcony area that is over the front of the Wilderness Lodge. So you can look out that way. Now, not anything really exciting to see there, but it sort of gives you sort of a view that you don't really get to see many other ways. So
that's true.
That
that's
one's
true.
worth checking out too.
Okay, that's good. All right. So I've got one that's a little bit different. And it's a blink and you miss it kind of view. All right, you ready for it?
Yes.
It's gonna be, and I say this as someone who doesn't do it, but it's gonna be on Tower of Terror. So I've only ridden Tower of Terror once. It absolutely scared the pants off me. I will not do it again. I just don't feel like throwing up. That's kind of that's my theory.
It's a good philosophy.
I'm not a fan of nausea. I lived in nausea for 9 months. I don't need it, for just the heck of it. So anyway, but Tower of Terror, if you're looking for a unique view, and again, it's a blink and you miss it kind of thing, because you're not sitting up there very long when the elevator doors open, ding, and you see the entire park. But when you get that view and you get to see that, it is incredible. I mean, you only get that from this vantage point right here, and it's so fleeting. So there's that one, and then there's also, I'm going to kind of piggyback on that. So if again you're looking for unique views of the park, we talked about it earlier, but Tiana's Bayou Adventure, we talked about it on the last show. But again, it's another blink and you miss it kind of view, because as you're cresting up over that hill, getting ready to go back down, you can see just the Magic Kingdom in a totally different vantage point than you get anywhere else. So there are attractions that, they have those blink and you miss them kind of moments, but you absolutely want to make sure you're ready to go to see those incredible views from those vantage points. So I think those are two good suggestions of something that's kind of different and off the beaten path that you're not necessarily going to think of, but they give you just incredible views. But if you got a camera, make sure you take it fast. Although if you're doing it on Tiana's, you might not want to do it. You might want to just, actually, what, come to think of it, if you're doing it on Tower of Terror, you probably don't want to do that either, because you're going to drop real fast too. So yeah, just take it in visually. Maybe don't get the camera out on those.
I have two more along those same lines.
Okay.
First of all, at the Magic Kingdom, Big Thunder has some great vistas that you can see. I'm always shocked by all the different things I can see when I'm riding Big Thunder, both on the attraction and off the attraction. Some of those things on Big Thunder, there's a lot of little like Easter egg kind of things that you have to look for. So that's something to look for there. But you also get some great views when the fireworks are going off and things like that. So,
it's my favorite when the fireworks. Again, this is another of those attractions that I will ride at fireworks time, because again, it's so special getting to see the fireworks over the mountain, and it's so cool. It
is. It's a cool one. And the other one is going back to Hollywood Studios, and that is Slinky Dog.
Yes.
Slinky Dog has some great views from there. Again, if you are taking photos, make sure you have like a ring or something
that keep the phone on your hand.
Exactly. Keep the phone. Hold on to that phone. Hang on. Slinky Dog.
Yes.
But anyways, I think that is an attraction that offers some really great views too. So, and I think that's kind of a cool thing that you get to ride some of these attractions and see things that you don't really get to see.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mike, is there anything else you want to do before we wrap it up?
Well, I have one more real quick that doesn't exist yet, but it's going to.
You're muted. Mike's muted.
Did you mute me?
Mike is muted.
Oh, Mike's muted. Oh, I was like, wait, did I mute myself?
I muted myself. So Disney Cruise Line, when you go on the Disney Cruise Line ships, I don't think a lot of people realize that you can go up to deck 14 or the highest deck on the ship. A lot of times, sometimes you think, ooh, that's like off limits. But a lot of times they'll have like a chapel up there, someplace for like private events. But most of the time it's not being used. And especially like if you go to the very front of the ship into the adult area or whatever, you can go up really, really high and shoot shots like the length of the ship backwards, like of the two funnels. Cool. And on a day where you have nice clouds or like a sunrise or a sunset, get as high as you can on those ships. And take shots of the length of the ship from up as high as you can get. And you get some beautiful sunsets, beautiful clouds. And then, I mean, you guys know in my shots, like I'll take them and pop them on something like Snapseed or something. And it just, I mean, it looks like a work of art. You know, it doesn't, then it's not so much photography. It's more like a kind of a combo, like it almost looks like a painting. But it's just, it's one of those things that when I see it, it's like, oh, I just want to be back out there again. So yeah, that's just one I want to throw in there for Disney Cruise Line. Get as high as you can, you know, and whether it's an adult area, go up to Currents, you know, one of those places, climb as high as you can, walk the ship.
That's a good spot.
I agree.
So
that is a good
right.
one. And I think your veranda too is also,
yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Depending on where you are. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I have one more. And for sure, I mean, I can come up with more, but this one doesn't exist yet. And it is actually going to be the Spaceship Earth Lounge when that officially opens in 2025 here. So we are getting a Spaceship Earth themed lounge. And I can tell you, I am so excited about this place. Now, I have no idea how hard this lounge is going to be to get into, especially at fireworks time. I can guarantee they will probably have some sort of dessert party at that point. But this lounge is going to have some incredible views that I think you're not going to be able to see anywhere else in the park. I have an idea of where I think it's going. I'm not 100% sure, so I don't want to like share 100%, but like I have an idea where I think it's going. But seriously, when this lounge opens, the views of Epcot are going to be just next level. You're going to see things that you've never seen before. So it's going to be really cool. It's going to be really cool.
And listener Jessica, going back to the Disney Cruise Line thing, she came up. She's one of my great guests over the Magic for Less. I really appreciate her over the years. She said, you know, if you want to like ride the bike out, or especially on the 5K, there's that tower that's out on the loop on Castaway Cay that you can climb, and you get some beautiful vistas. You see like how green Castaway Cay is, but you can also get a great shot. It's really kind of crazy looking because from the tower, the observation tower, it almost looks like the ship is like not in the water. It almost looks like it's in like greenery, but it's really gorgeous. Like it's a great place to get elevation because it's so flat, obviously, out there on the island. It's a neat perspective. Like take a bike ride out there sometime or a walk.
It is. It's a great spot. And I think another place on Castaway Cay, which is a great space to look at, is at the Heads Up Bar. You can get great pictures that have the ship in the background. And I think that really does a great job of sort of giving you sort of an overview of Castaway. So yeah, all great suggestions.
Pam, do you know, is there anywhere on Lookout Cay that is like a...
It's key. It's key, people. It's key.
Lookout Cay. Lookout. It's Castaway Cay. Lookout Cay. I'll get it eventually.
Oh, it's Castaway Cay.
Castaway Cay.
Castaway Cay. Lookout Cay. No, it's Castaway Cay. Lookout Cay, right?
It's key everywhere, I think, isn't it?
Oh.
No, I thought it was Lookout Cay.
Is it?
That's what I thought.
My gosh. Okay, my
See,
bad.
you're messing me up. Okay,
we have to have consistency here. I'm all about being consistent.
I don't think they do.
No, I don't think they do either. I thought it was Castaway Cay, Lookout Cay.
Okay,
all right, you're messing me up.
Okay, I got to talk to somebody. We're gonna fix that.
All right, okay, got it. Anyway, but is there a spot at Lookout Cay that is?
Yeah, that bothers me so bad. God.
I know.
I can't.
No, they say they're both pronounced Key, so I'm looking.
Oh. See, amen. Thank you. Okay, one thing went right for me today.
I will
past
find out
72
for us.
hours.
I will find out. I will find and report back.
Please.
It says it can be pronounced either way.
No, we're not having that. We're not playing that game. That's how my sixth graders used to try that on me. Mr. Rahman, it can be no, it can't be both ways. There's one right answer, baby.
But I believe they should both be Key. I believe they should both be Key.
Please, for the love of God, it's Key.
But anyway,
I will find out.
No matter which it is, I will say that at Lookout Cay there's a lot of boardwalks there because they were trying to reduce the erosion and whatnot, and so those boardwalks I think give you more of a view than the others. Now they're not high up like the fire tower is or anything like that at Castaway Cay, but they do offer you a better sort of view than just being on the ground there.
Good to know. All right.
I just love taking pictures though, and I think the problem is with a lot of us that we're very blessed to get to go so many times. Like Pam said earlier, like our digital footprint is. The castle always looks pretty much exactly the same, but we take the picture
I have a million pictures of it. It's fine.
Trip. But the challenge is when you actually take a picture of something that you have 72 times, but you take it from a different perspective, right? You get whether different lighting, different time of day, different angle. I think that's the challenge. Maybe it's just, the sun's hitting it different that day. And I think that's when you're like, wow, I love that picture. It stands out from the other 65 I have of that. And I think that's kind of, and it's just fun to share them on social media because, everybody back home, we're all longing to get to our favorite places, and it brings joy to everybody, I think. So hopefully everybody can get out there and take some fun pictures from up high this time. We'll see how it goes.
Yes.
All right.
I think we'll get a different, maybe some additional listeners based on the name of our show.
This is true.
Yes, we'll definitely be popular in Colorado, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Rocky Mountain High, Colorado. Oh my gosh, it's been a week. All right, it's been a week and it's Monday. All right, so we hope you enjoyed the show.
Friday.
It's
Don't
Friday.
ruin the illusion.
Dude, my illusion. You don't even know the illusions I've had over the past 48 hours. I saw my shoes.
No, thank you.
I saw my shoes. Anyway, yes, I did. And it was a shoe I hadn't had since I was 12. Anyway, so we are going to get out of here and wish you a great weekend. Again, you know the deals. You know that we're brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We have great agents all over the world helping you plan great vacations to the Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line. And really going along with this, we give you tips in your inbox a couple times, maybe once a week, once every other week, and it gets you pumped up for your trip. That's one of the things I love because guess what? I book my trips through the Magic for Less as well. And I'm going to Disneyland and stuff, and I get these little things like, oh, yes. Like, do I know that stuff? Yes. But do I like to get it in my inbox? Absolutely. Because it gets me revved up for the trip. And so you might know the stuff too, but it's like cool to get you excited for the trip. So, and also it just helps you not miss things because sometimes we go so many times, it's easy to miss the obvious. We just want to make sure that you are set up for the amazing vacation that you have in your mind's eye, that you don't miss any of the details. We just want to give you the perfect opportunity to have that trip that you love. So swing by the Magic for Less. The great thing is it's no additional cost, and it's way more fun to book with the Magic for Less. I'll tell you that. It's a lot more fun. So check them out today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link, beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you to our Patreon supporters, patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. Get in on that and get Mike in the Midwest, our bonus show for $5 a month there. Ricky's at Ricky Nibs. I'm at Be Our Guest Mike. Pam's at TMFLT Pam on the socials. And join the clubhouse, beourguestpodcast.com/clubhouse. The conversation goes nonstop over there. It just blows up. We talk about life. We talk about Disney. It's just constant. It's awesome. We have so many new people over there. So shout out to everybody who's joined us the past couple of weeks. And we're looking for you to join us this week as well. I'll be at Disneyland hopefully this weekend, running the races, posting all the pictures, eating all the good snacks. So follow me, Be Our Guest Mike, on Instagram for all that fun as well. All right, we're going to get out of here. We'll be back again on Monday. No live show this Sunday night because I will be out, but we'll have fun when I get back. So until then, for Pam and Ricky, I'm Mike, wishing you a great Friday. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon.
You've been listening to the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. If you have questions, comments, or would like to be a guest on the show, please visit our website at beourguestpodcast.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you real soon.